Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com. Of all the fights coming up on the horizon, and we have some pretty good ones, right? Arthur Abraham versus Andre Durrell, uh, Vladimir Klitschko versus Fast Eddie Chambers, Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather versus Sugar Shane Mosley. Of all the fights on the horizon, I believe matchup wise, style wise, the most exciting fight, just looking at it before any of these fights take place, to me, appears to be Marcus Maidana versus Victor Cayo. Now, this is not a prediction video. I'm not going to make a prediction on the fight because I think anything can happen. Rather, this is just a boxing fan video to tip you off on a fight that I believe might be much more exciting than any of the recent fights. In fact, this has all of the ingredients to be the kind of instant classic that the Paul Williams versus Sergio Martinez fight was last year. Now, you've seen the Victor Cayo Marcos Maidana fight before, right? This is Ali Fraser. Cayo it would be Ali, Maidana would be Fraser. This is Salvador Sanchez versus Wilfredo Gomez. In other words, the styles of the fighters is such that you have Cayo, who really does look like young Cassius Clay. Great foot movement, breaks every rule in the book, has hand speed, um, very, very gifted. Looks like he knows what to do, but does it his way. So when you throw punches, he's not, raising his hand to block punches. He's just leaning back. And I'm not talking about leaning back like Devin Alexander leans back in fights. No, I'm talking about even shots to his body, he just jumps backwards. In other words, the only analogy I could come up with is young Cassius Clay. Then, of course, in an earlier video, I talked about the importance of stuttering punches to change the tempo of the fight, to keep the other guy off tempo. Believe it or not, Victor Cayo does that while throwing punches. He can throw a punch straight. He can also vary it so that he puts a little wiggle in the punch. The guy also has power. When you step inside his circle, he's not just a cutie with moves and no power. He actually has power. He has actually stopped more than 50% of his opponents. So he's fascinating. Think Ali, think Salvador Sanchez, think Sugar Ray Robinson. Here's the catch, and it's a big one. We all know that he's going to get hit at some time in his career. He's going to get tested at some time in his career. Right now, he has the confidence that comes from youth, right? He's never been hit upside the head in such a way that he's had to go to plan B. And so the question is, how is he going to handle it when he's in the ring with a guy who can cut off the ring, a Joe Frazier type, a Michael Kasidas type, a Mike Tyson type, who can cut off the ring and who has the attitude that this is not boxing, this is fighting, it is a war, and I win wars. We're going to find out later this month when he fights Marcos Maidana. Let me talk about Marcos Maidana for a moment. Um, as my longtime viewers know, I'm not afraid to go against the grain. Let me just say that when Marcus Maidana was going to fight Amir Khan, even though I had taken Amir Khan against Dimitri Salida, even though I had taken Amir Khan against Marco Antonio Barrera, against Kotelnik, I was actually going to take Marcos Maidana against Amir Khan because I thought, based on styles, I don't think Amir Khan is ready to handle the intensity that Marcos Maidana brings to the table. I mean, understand the vast majority of Marcos Maidana's wins are by KO. He recently destroyed Victor Ortiz. He's not just physically tough, he's mentally tough. Comparing him to Joe Frazier is actually a little bit unfair to him since Joe's right hand was a bit undeveloped. Maidana hits with both hands. Also, Joe was legally blind in one eye, and Marcus Maidana sees well in both eyes. And so, Marcus Maidana is a guy in his prime. He's on the verge of taking over the 140-pound division, the only other division on par with the 140-pound division right now, and it's the light welterweight division, in my opinion, is the super middleweight division. The one with the Super Six, right? Big names like Carl Froch, Arthur Abraham, Mikkel Kessler, Andre Ward, Andre Durrell, Alan Green, and of course, other names, Edison Miranda and Lucien Boutte, as well as Robert Stiglitz. That 168-pound weight class is loaded. So too is 140. And of all the 140s out there, these are two of the most intriguing ones. The only other guy who I feel, and keep in mind, this is the division of Kendall Holt, Ricky Hatton, Paulie Malignaggi. The only other guy who I feel has the opportunity to come in and clean out the division like these two guys, Victor Cayo and Marcos Maidana, would be Edwin Valero, right? So we're going to find out whether Victor Cayo, an elite boxer, I mean, forget age, forget all that other stuff. He's an elite boxer. We're going to find out if he can handle a brawler. I don't have the answer to that question. It's the $1 million question in the room. Because if this is a boxing match, Victor Cayo wins because he's an elite boxer. If it turns into a volume punch output contest, if it turns into a brawl with elbows, inside fighting, um, you know, guys brawling, guys literally slugging it out, then I think the match is going to favor Marcos Maidana. The one thing I feel pretty confident in guaranteeing you, and I can't guarantee you distance, this fight might end in the first round. It might go the distance. KO might prove unable to take a punch. Maidana might prove unable to handle a guy with lateral movement going left to right, right to left, and of course, great hand speed and combinations. The only thing I can guarantee you is this is going to be a great fight. Of all the fights out there on the horizon with better known fighters, right? Including Khan Malignaggi, including Klitschko Chambers, of all the fights out there, I would say if you only have 1 hour of videotape, this is the fight to tape just from an excitement standpoint. I'm hearing from a lot of people that the Pacquiao Clottey fight was not that exciting. I don't believe you're going to have that problem with this one. Um, Marcos Maidana, Victor Cayo, I think you need to watch this fight. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Feel free. If the fight's a stinker, go ahead and give me no stars. Punish me in the ratings here on YouTube. But if the fight turns out to be a classic, and keep in mind, fights don't have to go the distance to be a classic. If you remember Thomas the Hitman Hearns against Marvelous Marvin Hagler in that 3-round brouhaha in the mid-'80s, a fight can be a short fight and still be the kind of fight where both men distinguish themselves and both guys have their moments. I think you're in for a treat like that in this one. Maidana, KO, I'm definitely going to watch it. I hope you do too. Let me know your thoughts both before the fight. If you have a prediction, leave it on my YouTube channel page, youtube.com/DWYER70905. Leave it for it here on this video. And also after the fight takes place, let me know if the fight has lived up to this hype that I've put in this video. Thanks for watching.